Because you talked about the additions and subtract. So Kipyego is in. Now, he just ran really fast in Milan. So Ruben Kipyego gets added to the field, 2:03.55 in Milan. Gaetano Mola is out, 2:03.34. But presumably, Gordon, the reason he's out is because he wasn't ready to run. So anytime you're taking out a guy who's not ready to run and replacing him with someone who just ran sub 2:04 makes the field tough. Tura 2:04.29, also in Milan. Then you add in Chumba and Suzuki, two sub 2:05 guys in there as well. I think the men's field, yeah, you could match up the PBs and say it's a little bit more difficult, but by and large, the challenge remains the same for Galen Rupp. And that challenge is he's going to have to beat multiple people with PBs faster than him in order to win this race. And that was the reality before all the scratches and additions. And that is still the reality. And he's going to have to do it on a shorter type of buildup. Now, the shorter type of buildup, we've seen Rupp bounce back and do two races in quick succession and it go well for him. I'm thinking back, I know it was a different race in Boston that year with the horrible weather where for some people it wasn't really a race, didn't even finish, but came back later and ran really well in Prague and got his PB that still stands today. Do you think, and this is tough to forecast times because all the times have been really much slower than we thought this year. Do you think this is a 2:04 race? And if it is, do you think Galen Rupp can run 2:04?
I don't think it's a 204 race because like of the trends we're seeing with slower times. I think for some reason athletes are just not in the go 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 mode. I mean, some of them were when they went out hard, but then they kind of overestimated their pace and kind of died in the second half. But I think this is going to be more of like a 205, 206
Mhm.
race. And then if Galen Rupp wins, it's like a 207 race. That's what I think. I think if a non Galen Rupp win would be 205, 206, a Galen Rupp win would be like a 207.
Well,
That's what I think.
I think the first part of your statement would be good news for Galen Rupp just in general. If
True.
he knew going in, hey, this it's not going to take 2:04. Like there's not enough quality here for them to run 2:04. Yeah, we've seen people this fall marathon season running slower than their PBs, not coming in and bettering them. And some people have, but the top line folks on the men's side have not been doing that. Women have, men have not. If that trend continues, and you think, because you see 2:03.55 from someone you're not that familiar with, and you think, okay, we'll get them in this bigger race, get them in this faster race. Maybe they're going to run 2:03.20, but that hasn't been the case this fall. It's the 2:03 runner then runs 2:04, the 2:02 high runner then runs a 2:03 or 2:05. So yeah, I still think it's a long shot for Rupp. I think top three would be a huge accomplishment here. Um, you know, coming back, the short turnaround, it's tough. I know I brought up 2018 where he DNF'd in Boston and then came back and ran the 2:06 in Prague. A little bit different because of the DNF. I don't. I think this is going to be tough. Again, the thing he has on a lot of these guys though, right? There's not one. Okay, that person's definitely going to beat you type person. There's not a Kipchoge in this field. Even someone like Lawrence Chirono, proven guy who's won a bunch of majors, not in this field. Yeah, there's guys who've run big races in here, but everybody seems beatable when I look at this field.
Yeah, there's no like consistent winner in the field. Um, and when you don't have that, it means you have someone who can put on a good day, run fast, 203, 204, but on a bad day, be back in the pack running 208 or DNFing. So you just don't know what you're going to get from that group of 8 up front. How many of them are going to have good days or versus bad days? That's what's crazy about this
Mhm.
marathon, about marathons in general, is that like there's almost there's almost like a little bit of a luck aspect to it, right? You just know
Mhm.
events there are going to be a percentage that just have off days, and that not everyone is going to be their true self and their true form. You know, like Ruben Kipyego is and and Seifu Tura, they're
Mhm.
not going to both run the faster or the exact time that they did in Milan, right? It's just
Mhm.
that's not how it works. One of them's going to run slower. Maybe one of them runs faster. Maybe they both run faster, but it's nothing is set in stone. Uh,
Mhm.
One thing though, looking at it, is this Galen Rupp's like final chance at like a victory? Like if Galen comes out here and gets fourth or fifth,
Mhm.
is it going to be kind of the end of thinking like Galen Rupp can win a major? Because we
Well,
think I keep on thinking of his major win, but the more I think about it, it's like it feels like so long ago, right? Was it 2017 he won?
yeah, the in Chicago, right? So
Yeah, it's
I
a long time
don't
ago.
think that's a I I agree. I don't think that's too dramatic of a question to ask, especially because next year the fields aren't going to be split up as much. So you think this is the opportunity, this is the parting of the seas that Rupp or any other underdog in the situation would need to win. However, different fields break different ways. There's obviously big upsets. And if he's able to stay at the 206, 207 level, there's always a chance in Boston he can break through. But I do think this is this seems like one of the better chances remaining in his career. Because again, when are you going to get a field like this? Like, yes, these guys 203, 204 PBs, but when is the marathon ever going to get easier? Right? It doesn't
Yeah.
seem that like that is going to now we've seen it flatten out a bit. Looks like it's flattening out a bit, and I say that, and maybe the marathons this weekend will be super fast, or the marathon in Valencia or New York, there'll be new people popping up. But I think at the very least, it's staying the same. I don't think it's regressing at all. He's obviously getting older. His Olympic performance, he moved backwards from where he was in 2016. So would it be too dramatic to say this is his last best chance at a podium finish or to win? I don't think that that's a too dramatic of a statement because you take into account what's going on in the world with the marathon. You take into account that the talent pool is split up, and you take into account his recent results. It makes sense. It makes sense